Well, cook them up. We'll eat them. Okay, what do we need for this recipe? Beep, beep. One cook at a time, hon. All right. We need shrimp, frozen shrimp, deveined. Frozen shrimp, deveined. I like to go with 1.5 pounds. This is about $8 a pound over at Publix. And it's a product of Vietnam, so you know it's good. And these are thawing, but they have the heads already off, already been deveined. But we're looking for the legs and the shells, believe it or not, and the tail. So they're cooking along. Onion, half an onion, but the wife could only scare up a quarter. That's all right. Celery, cup and a half, maybe a little more. Cup of rice, always good. Cayenne chili powder. You don't need tons of this, but good to have. Black pepper. Publix, of course. Don't forget the ground thyme. Bay leaves. All pretty standard stuff. Garlic salt. Publix. Some onion, since we only have a quarter of an onion. A little extra onion isn't going to help. Is it going to hurt? Chili powder, just a bit. You don't need a bunch of this. Oregano, everybody likes oregano. Parsley. You'll need some shakes, but I'll show you how much when we get to making this stuff. Everybody's favorite hot sauce. McAhenny's don't accept substitutes. And here's our base. Some stewed tomatoes, but they're like Italian something. They got spices, garlic. They went to a whole bunch of trouble to make this. 1 can of that. Right, zesty chili style diced tomatoes. Del Monte went to a whole bunch of trouble to make this. Last but not least, by far, Johnsonville, New Orleans, smoked sausage. 100% premium pork. And it's not a pound, but it's 14 ounces, and we'll do this whole thing in there. So, I'll be back. I'll get to cutting this stuff up, and then we'll just dump it in. Colander. Nice pot. I think they call it like a gallon pot or gallon and a half, something like that. But anyway, need one of them. And you need something to put your shrimp legs and shells in. That'd be this right here. But right now it's serving as a place for my shrimp to thaw. Okay, we got our onions chopped up. Got our celery chopped up. Took about 2 minutes. No biggie. On to the sausage. I forgot something. Sharp knife. Here's our sausage. We'll cut them down the middle and then we'll cut them to length. Alright, sausage is cut. It takes a minute maybe. over to the shrimp. This is the water the shrimp was in. And this, I think, really makes the gumbo, and it makes the work. So you take your shrimp, and really it's pretty easy. These shells and tails almost fall off because it's frozen. The shrimp themselves aren't very tasty one way or the other, although they have plenty of shrimp taste. But the shells and the tails hold a ton of shrimp taste in them. And once you put this in here, we'll heat that up, strain it off, and add it to our gumbo soup. But this takes a little time. This is the hardest part, just knocking these things off of here. But we'll be back in a second. Okay, shrimp are peeled. Shells, legs, tails, they're all in this water, the pan we had. Now we got to heat it up carefully. This will overflow in a heartbeat because it's in too big or too small a pan. So I'm going to have to watch it. It's just water spitting out from the bottom. These are diced, as you can see. These stewed tomatoes are not diced, so I like to chop them up a little finer. Makes it nicer. You can just get some scissors in there and chop away. Smell those shrimp, they're starting to boil. Like I said, this thing will take off on you in a heartbeat, so I'm watching it. So we can put this in. I took some scissors and chopped that up pretty fine, so that makes it nice. I'm going to turn that baby on high so I can get some heat. So now everything goes in. Onion, celery. Get up. Sausage. Sausage. There's no roux with this. There's no flour with this. Well, I guess a true gumbo has some kind of a flour and oil roux. I just have never thought that that's really good, but that's everybody's preference. So this is more of a soup. Shrimp goes in. This all goes in there. Can't hurt it. In she goes. But it's looking a little thick. So hang on. So I've taken the colander here. I'll just put it right there. This is starting to go. And this will strain out all the stuff. But that is just straight, good tasting, super deluxe shrimp juice. And to me, this is what makes it happen. I'm going to put this to the side here in case I think I might need a little more shrimp juice, but I think that's pretty good right there. So, we got that going for us. Let's see what this thing looks like. There's our shrimp. There's our juice. We're going to need some more water in this, I'm pretty sure. Make it a little bit higher. Still pretty thick right this second. Alright, that timed out good. That's in there. Let's get that boiling. Rice goes in. Don't forget a cup of rice. Let's see if we can get this boiling. Starting to smell good already. I don't think there's anything else I can put in there right this second. Alright, time to add the good stuff. I'm going to do this. I'm doing this one-handed. Let's see, some onion. Throw some onion in there. Not tons, but get some onion in there. Some black powder. We're talking maybe a couple teaspoons or something. Black pepper, I mean. Black pepper. Black pepper. Alright. Some of this. 1, 2, 3. You don't have to 4, 5. I like McElhenney's. Some thyme. Thyme in. I like thyme too. Some cayenne. All this hot stuff you don't have to get carried away with, because you can always add it later a little bit and it won't hurt. It won't hurt it. The cayenne's good. Cayenne is hot. A little chili, not too much. All this is maybe a teaspoon, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. And some garlic salt, never hurt anybody. Everybody likes garlic salt. Right. Some oregano, don't forget the oregano. Just add stuff to it. Now it's, I don't know, how do you do that? It's like 2 tablespoons. Parsley. Maybe a little more. You can see what's going in there. Starting to boil pretty hard, so I'm going to add some water here right after this. And one more. Bay leaves. Everybody's helper. Okay, I'm going to add some water to this, put the lid on, and that's it. Alright, I added about 2 cups of water. It's always hard to get down how much water to add, really. You know, this just cooks and that rice gets going. It'll thicken up a little bit. That's made a nice big bowl, big can. I'll probably add a little more water to that, maybe another cup or something, just to make it happen. A lot of people put okra. If I could get good okra and slice it up and be good, I'd probably use that. But the stuff they have frozen is sort of stringy, and it doesn't add too much to the gumbo, I don't think. For me, I just use celery if I'm short. And I have to say, this smells pretty good. Alright. We'll let this just sit here and cook for maybe about 45 minutes or an hour. And we'll get back to you in about an hour.
I'm just gonna have a little. I'm hungry.
Here's our impartial judge. She's tasted it and
It's not really done.
she decided it's not really done. I told her she was a little early.
Well, I'm hungry.
But once she's hungry, get out of the way. Pretty good. Close enough. Boy, you should smell this. I'm gonna give it 15 more minutes. It's been cooking for about, half an hour. It's not quite long enough.